Hello everyone, this is Flammy and welcome back to another subscriber-based review. So, subscriber-based reviews, I review your guys' bases, so if you would like to be included in one of the future subscriber-based reviews, you should go like my Facebook page and look for the status update on the weekends. Don't message me, don't send me a message on Facebook or any other source. I won't be able to review you. Look for a status update. I'll have full details at the end of this video. In this video, we are going to be reviewing Town Hall 6. Alright, it's been a while since I've done Town Hall 6, so I feel like I should do it. I'm going to be doing all the other Town Halls very soon. I focus mostly on Town Hall 7, 8, and 9, just because that's where most of you guys are. But because I haven't done 6 in literally months, I'm going to do 1 now, and then the next one probably is not going to be for a while. So if you guys are Town Hall 6 and missed out on a review in this video, try to upgrade your Town Hall, and then you're more likely to be in it. Alright, for our first base, we have Charlemagne, or that's how I'm going to pronounce it. I think that's pretty close. He says he is newly Town Hall 6 from 2 days ago, although he did post this on Sunday. So I guess he's probably been here about 3 or 4 days now. So indeed, so relatively new. So how high could he be? So Town Hall 6, let's see, let's start with the Wizard Towers. Level 2, it's not bad. The max Wizard Tower is level 3, so level 2 is not bad. So probably carry over from when you were Town Hall 5, which is the max at Town Hall 5. And okay, let's go to air defenses, level 2. That could be 4, but this is not bad. It's sort of exposed, so healer giant would be pretty good against this, or even something like balloon could actually be very effective against this because this is rather exposed. I would consider making it a little bit more protected. Like for example, this elixir collector right here is in a fairly well protected spot. There's nothing really needed to be protected about this elixir collector, so maybe swap them out, for example. Moving on down, mortars, they are level 3, and level 3 in progress going to 4. That's good. Mortars do max out at 4 here at Town Hall 6. And walls. Walls are pretty good. They could be up to 6. 6 is the maximum, but I wouldn't expect you to get that for a while until you're at Town Hall 6 for a good long while, because that costs a lot of gold. So you're doing a pretty good job upgrading to level 5 walls, which is these golden walls. That's pretty good. In terms of archer towers, they could be 7 maximum, and cannons could be 7 as well. So clearly they're doing pretty good. So you got 1 cannon maxed out here, and the other archer towers looks like they're all 6s. So yeah, getting close. Good job upgrading. Keep it up. Yeah, I wouldn't say you're low considering you're newly Town Hall 6. Do you have clan castle, guys? Ooh, you do, and you even have a Valkyrie. So nicely upgraded guys, too, level 5 archers. That's very good. Nice thing about Valkyries is they do splash damage, so especially if they run into a group of infantry. Good stuff right there. Yeah, I'd be curious how that works out for you, and nice to see that your clanmates are donating those. Alright, in terms of layout, this is where I got my most tips for you. Your base defenses look pretty good in terms of levels, but layout I think could use some work. And now, what do I mean by that? Okay, first off, let's start with wizard towers in the center. So, this wizard tower protects this gold elixir storage. Okay, that's good. This wizard tower also protects this elixir storage. Seems like it's sort of doubling up right there. So, I'd say you should move this wizard over to where this cannon is. What that allows is the wizard tower to protect both of these gold storages with full effectiveness. Alternatively, you could take this wizard tower and move it over here as well, so then you got both of these wizard towers protecting gold storages. Depending on how much gold is in here, so not very much right now, but if you happen to have a lot, that would be definitely something you want to consider. Now, let's move out from the center of your base, and you've got some interesting things going on with the walls. Interesting, I think you should probably change them up some. Okay, so you've got one compartment over here with a gold mine. You have one compartment over here with a mortar that's upgrading. Both of those are not very efficient use of single compartments. Single compartments are alright, but in general, I would say if you do have a single compartment, you should have something pretty important in there. So at least a defense that's active. So not a gold mine and not an inactive defense. I would at least swap out defenses in there if you don't want to do anything more. But if you want to do more, I would say it's even better to take these extra walls that are in here, take this extra wall. What should you do? Take them out. So these are open. Go ahead and split up other compartments. So I'd probably put 3 walls right here, dividing this compartment into 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. And I might put the other 3 maybe right here, which is divide this into 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Just like that, you're able to split this up into fairly even compartments all the way around. Looks like about 2 to 3 buildings per compartment. And that would be pretty effective at sort of consolidating your walls into more evenly sized sections. Why is that advantageous? Well, that means giants can't break into one, such as this top one, and then immediately have access to 3 defenses. Beyond that, you can definitely consider kicking out some of these gold mines and elixir collectors. You don't need to have so many inside the walls, and I would generally recommend, or at least consider, kicking them out. It depends. If you're a very active player, it's certainly a better idea to kick them out. That means because you're online more frequently to collect them, they're not as much of a risk. Pretty simple right there. If you are less online, then I guess it makes a bit more sense to keep them inside and protect them a bit more. So it is up to you, but I would consider kicking them out. If you do kick them out, it means you got a lot more walls to play with, and you can consolidate your defenses a lot more. If you're going to do that and consolidate your defenses, I'd probably focus defenses right here, right here, right here, and right here. Sort of on the plus axes, both the X and the Y axes, you want to look at it that way. Basically, you can then spend your walls probably putting all those defenses into single compartments, and perhaps even a couple more buildings around the sides. Basically, you want to consolidate your defenses as much as possible, keep them close to one another. Right now, they're a bit spread out because you have things like elixir collectors separating them, and gold mines separating them, and gold mines and elixir collectors separating these two. Alright, so that's all I'm going to say on this base. Overall, it's pretty good. I like how you have your outside of the walls tight up. I like how you've cleaned out all of your decorations. The fact that you have builder's huts in the corners. Okay, I guess I'll talk about this one thing before we wrap it up. So, the problem with having builder's huts in the corners is if someone deploys, let's say, a couple barbarians right here. So they'll start getting fired on by these two buildings, and maybe this mortar. Yeah, this mortar too. But what they'll do is they'll draw out these clan castle guys. So then, say those barbarians die, or say they deployed one giant, those die, but you've activated the clan castle guys. Now, all you have to do is put one archer or barbarian out here, and all your clan castle guys who have already been activated will go walk, 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 walk out here, and then they can deploy a bunch more guys around him and bam, 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 kill them all. So that's one downside of keeping the builder's huts in the corners. But it is, of course, sometimes saving you from getting 1-starred, or I mean 3-starred, because they won't get there to get the last 2% of your base destroyed. However, you are down at 1,100 trophies, so that's probably not the top concern to you. So personally, I would say you probably don't want to do that. Alright guys, that's going to be it for our first base. Pretty good overall. I hope you like some of those suggestions, and I think that those are relevant suggestions for many bases, not just Town Hall 6's and not just this Town Hall 6 base. Good job, and let's go on to the next one. Alright guys, here we are with Clementine's. Clementine is part of the Reddit clan system in Reddit Yankee, and he does have a message. Please look over my base, and I'd really like to know what I'm doing bad. Alright, let's see what you're doing bad. Okay, right off the bat, what strikes me is the walls are pretty low levels. It's expensive, it's slow, but eventually you're definitely going to want to get your walls up to a higher level. 3 is getting pretty low once you're all the way up to Town Hall 6. So at least try to get to 4 and start working on 6's. The good news is you don't need to upgrade indefinitely. Getting up to 7s is a good point to get to, and then you can sort of slow down from there. Why is that? That's because 7s have a good defense against wall breakers, and level 5 wall breakers, it takes 2 of them to get through, which is currently the top level wall breaker, which means you should be prepared to handle situations with them in them. Alright, beyond that, defenses, layout. Okay, so you do have a lot of single compartments, so this is sort of like I was talking about for our last base. All these buildings around the sides are either in single or double compartments, and then in the center you've very centralized got your defenses. Not completely maxed out, pretty much exactly the same levels as before. Archers are a bit lower. Cannons, yeah, it's pretty much really equal. Your air defense is pretty low. I would consider upgrading that when you get a chance. Yeah, just level 1, and it's so vulnerable. I don't really love that. The thing about air defense is, like, you don't need it in, like, 95% of battles, but then when you do, if you just have it upgraded a bit, it just deters people from attacking in the first place. So if someone comes in with a healer giant, and your air defense is either centralized, so it's protected and hard to get to, or it's high enough level, and they have balloons or dragons. I guess not really. Dragons are very likely down here at 1,000 trophies. But in those situations, just having air defense means they won't attack you. So it's a great deterrent. So they won't attack you and won't do lots of damage to your base. So that's why I consider it's somewhat important to upgrade your air defense. I still think it's less important than other things. Now, I guess I will talk about upgrading strategy, because you here have some choices. Basically, everything here can be upgraded except for the cannons. These 2 cannons are the only things that are maxed out for your base. So I get this question fairly frequently, and I always answer this. And the question is, what should I upgrade first? And this goes for all Town Hall levels. Generally, first I would say upgrade mortars. Mortars are generally the most important because they do splash and they have great range. Those are the reasons why. Second priority, upgrade wizards. So wizards, they do splash once again, but they don't have quite as good of range, so a bit lower. However, they are the best defense against stopping goblins, so that's why it's important to get them up next. After that, archers and cannons are tied. And lastly, air defenses and Teslas. Teslas are pretty low on my priority list because they have a pretty small radius, and they don't do splash, and I consider them relatively expensive for the amount of damage they actually do. It's important to get them up to level 1, so you at least have them, but upgrade them beyond that, I'm sort of neutral on. One thing I will note that you probably are doing intentionally that I certainly approve of is the fact that this wizard tower can cover this gold storage. So you can see that this wizard tower is fully within range. The circle shows that it out here is fully covering it from any barbarians, goblins that try to break in there. So good stuff with that. And you can see the other one doing the same thing on the other side. Now here's one quick swap that you could do that could improve your defense perhaps. Why don't you swap this elixir storage and this elixir storage for the neighboring archer towers? So just swap these two right here and swap these two right here. All that would do is move your storage slightly closer together, but at the same time, it would let this wizard protect it as well, especially from goblins. At the same time, this wizard would be able to protect it if it was right here. Just like that, you're able to employ your wizards a bit more effectively. I think that would be a potentially very useful defensive strategy. Alright, I guess I can take a chance to talk about gold mines and elixir collectors here. So you've got level 6 and 7 collectors and level 7 mines. Alright, so that's pretty good. When you are at Town Hall 6, you can have up to level 10. So I would generally recommend not getting up to level 10 right away, and I see that you're not working on any of them, so it looks like you probably aren't looking to do that right away. Why do I say this? Well, getting resources through raiding is a lot more effective time-wise. And what do I mean by time-wise? Well, if you tie up your worker upgrading a gold mine for days and days and days, and then doing your next one and your next one and your next one, it takes a very long time and ties up your workers forever. Not really forever, but basically the amount of time it takes to do it means that you'd be better off generally just upgrading your defenses, because the benefit that you get from that versus just being slightly more active in raiding, it pretty much just cancels out pretty quickly. Basically what I'm trying to say is my strategy for upgrading gold mines and elixir collectors is only upgrade them if you can't afford to upgrade a defense because you don't have enough gold, and you just got them sitting around and you don't expect to use them anytime soon for anything else. So it's sort of my just got a free worker, I guess I'll throw them out a gold mine to do. That's my priority and how I sort of handle it. So I talked a lot about upgrade priorities. One thing I will say about your base is be sure to remove these natural decorations out here. They do regrow once every 8 hours, one every 8 hours that is, and they do not grow if you have 40 or more though. And the problem with that is they give free gems, so you don't want to miss out on free gems by preventing them from growing. So just as you get the chance, after you have some free elixir, just clean out the bushes, especially the little ones. They only take like 10 seconds each, these little ones. Then some of these ones take 45 seconds. Oh, and you've got a free workers too. So speaking of free workers, send some of those 3 free workers off on upgrading gold mines if you don't have the gold right now. Let's check if you do. You do have the gold right now to do at least something, so yeah, go get those upgrading. Maybe they're defense. Maybe they're defense. Alright, overall, pretty good, Clementine. Good job. Moving on to the next base, guys. Alright, here we are with Agent Classy, our next Town Hall 6 base. Alright, so he does have a comment, but all it says is, I love your vids and have a nice day. Wow, you are really classy, Agent Classy. Thank you for that. Alright, let's see how your base is looking. Let's check out defensive levels. Looks like you're doing a good job on that. So, level 3 wizards, could be 4. Level 4 mortars, those are maxed. Level 7 archers, that one's maxed. Level 6, that one could go more. This cannon is maxed. Cannon maxed. On the way to being maxed. So you're getting close to being maxed out. You got the wizard towers to go and a couple archer towers to go. Could do the air defense more if you wanted to, but it's 2's pretty much alright. I did mention before, like, you can do it more. I guess I should explain. One thing about that you want to be aware of is you also get more air defenses later. So at Town Hall 7, you get a second air defense. So why might you consider holding off upgrading your air defense until Town Hall 7? So why don't you get it to level 2 like you do, and then you can consider not doing level 3 because it's sort of slow, and you can wait to do level 3 until you also have your second one up. That means by upgrading your 1, you would be knocking all your air defense offline because it doesn't attack when it's upgrading. But instead, if you wait until Town Hall 7, you would have a second one, so you could sort of stagger which one you're upgrading at a time. In that way, you can be sure not to leave yourself completely vulnerable to the air. Beyond that, you got pretty good walls, which sort of reflects your well-upgraded defenses, so good job with that. One thing you want to be aware of is make sure you don't stay too long at Town Hall 7. So if you or Town Hall 6, if you do completely max out your defenses, and then you run out of walls, you're going to run out of things to spend your gold on, and that's not a good feeling because then your storage are just maxed out and you're just waiting for your Town Hall to finish. So try to keep an eye on that, just how long it'll take to get to Town Hall 7, how many more gold projects you need, how long it will take it. Ideally, you would finish up all of your upgrades and all of your walls just as the Town Hall 6 to 7 upgrade unlocked. So you can sort of use that as a predictor. How much will I raid in the next couple days while the Town Hall is upgrading? And how long will it take these buildings to finish, and how many walls are I left to finish? Sort of try to balance that out. That's how I look at it. Alright, beyond that, let's see. So about the storages, you got something interesting here. You do centralize your defenses, which I like, your mortars, which I like, especially because they are very high level. About your storages. Let's see. Well, my biggest problem with them is they're all in the same compartment. So that means if goblins break into one, or giants especially, and are able to take out the wizard tower, then they are vulnerable. The wizard tower and the mortar do a good job protecting them, so you do a good job of covering your air defenses, but the fact that they're in the same compartment does add a little bit of vulnerability. Something I will say that I have not talked about at all in any of these bases yet is, why do you have your town hall inside the walls? I would say you should probably kick your town hall outside the walls for sure. So kicking your town hall outside the walls does this. You've got 1,200 trophies. When you get attacked, you lose a couple, because you'll pretty much always get 1 starred, but at the same time, you're always going to get a 12-hour shield whenever your town hall is destroyed. Also, with the new league system, you might be trying to keep your trophies a little higher, so maybe there's that of consideration, but the rewards down at this level really aren't worth it. So I believe Silver 1 gives 3,500 of both gold and elixir when you win a battle. That's not very much. Yeah, I'd rather just kick your town hall outside the walls, lose 1,000 of each resources each time when you get attacked, and save yourself from some big attacks, which would steal a lot more than those 7,000 resources you'd be getting for being in a slightly higher trophy count. Of course, you can just raid a bit more to make up for it too, so that helps. Now, if you're confused as to why getting a shield helps save resources, think of it this way. Say 100 people are going to look at my base and decide if they want to attack. And a couple of them are spread out throughout that 100 randomly are really good people. They've got really well upgraded armies, and they could just smash my base no matter what I do, no matter what layout I have. Say they're Town Hall 8s or 9s, and you're a Town Hall 6 right here. Well, imagine the first guy, or the second guy, or the third guy who came to look at your base saw your town hall was outside the walls. They see that they can pick that off, get a free league bonus just for picking it off, and go on their merry way. So one of them is probably likely to do so. If you don't have it on the outside, though, they won't attack and won't give you a shield. And then other people will keep spectating your base and spectating your base and spectating your base, and they'll keep skipping it. Until one of those big, bad, scary guys in this big group of 100 finds your base and says, "Ooh, you've got some nice resources in those storages. I'm going after your storages." Whereas those other people, they said, "I'm only going after the town hall that's outside the walls." I hope that sort of explains why I think it's valuable to put your town hall outside the walls. And, I think you should seriously consider it. Just sort of make the balance and judgment decision based on trophies and what your goal is at this particular time. And of course, you can always change it in the future. That's a great thing. You don't have to be stuck down at low trophies. You don't have to be stuck keeping your town hall inside the wall. Just swap it out now and then. Swap it out when you've got a ton of gold in your storages that you don't want to get stolen, such as perhaps right now. Let's check it. Yeah, so you got nearly 200,000 gold in both of these storages, so that's 400,000 gold total. If you want to protect that a little bit better, throw your town hall outside the walls, and then your shield will ensure that it's slightly more likely to be not stolen. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for Agent Classy. I think that was a good conversation of strategy right there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's move on to the next base. Alright, here we are with Master Chief's base. Master Chief, what are you doing? This isn't Halo? Well, but welcome to Clash of Clans all the same. Alright, Balloon Army, that's interesting. Master Chief is here as a member of Reddit Epsilon. So Epsilon is one of the newer Reddit clans. It is named after the Greek alphabet, actually. Speaking of the Greek alphabet, let's see. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Chi, Omicron, Pi, Sigma, Tau, Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, Omega. Done. Pretty good. Alright, that was fun. So we are in Epsilon. So, you know it's one of the relatively new clans because it's in the Greek alphabet. Now, let's see. Where are we in terms of this base? Nice mortars. Wizard Towers, level 2. Ooh, not quite so good. Yeah, not quite so good. One thing I would like to see, really easy, really easy, just swap these Wizard Towers in storage right here, and then swap this one right here. That would put your storages in the corner of your base, here and here. And by keeping your storages there, you have your Wizard Towers in the center to protect them, and they're spread out a bit more from attack. For example, right now, you have 4 storages that are all on this side of your base, so they're sort of heavily weighted towards this side. So someone attacking from this top right side could attack, take out this one mortar, and then they have a pretty easy time picking off some of these storages. And if they attack a bit more, they can still probably pick off this gold storage and this elixir storage with archers without activating these wizard towers. Basically, your storage are sort of heavily pushed on one side of your base. Yeah. So I think that would be a good suggestion. Let's see if you have clan castles. Oh, giants. Tell your clanmates not to donate giants. Bad Reddit Epsilon members. Yeah, giants are just not good for defense. Maybe you're planning on using them for offense, so maybe I could take that back, because you do have giants and stuff in your army. Yeah, so maybe it's that. Maybe you asked for giants so you can use them on offense. I don't know for sure. I will say something interesting about this army, though. So when it comes down to army compositions, this is generally what I would say a pretty bad composition. So why is this bad? When you're building up a group of units, you want to think always about how they're working together. So healer giant works well together. A lot of people know this from watching my old videos. The healer follows a group of giants around. The giants stay together. They get splash heals, so they stay alive for much longer. Okay, that works pretty well together. At the same time, archers work pretty well with giants because they deal pretty good damage. However, only having 20 is a little low. Now, what about these balloons? So 10 balloons, how do they work with a healer? Well, healer doesn't actually heal air units, so they don't work very well together either. How do they work with giant? Ooh, well, here's an option. Here's an interesting option. So if you use your giants go after the air defense, then you can perhaps drop in your balloons for free. Especially get your giants to go after the air defense, knock it out, go after a wizard tower or 2, knock them out. Those are all the things that you really need to be worried about. Well, I guess that and clan castle troops. Once you've got those out of the way, you're well on your way to 3-starring bases. This won't work at higher trophy counts, or at a higher base count. Town Hall 7s will have 2 air defenses, so it gets a lot harder. Now, why do I think that this isn't quite the best army composition? Well, while these giants and the balloons work well together, and where the giants and the healer work well together, the healer and the balloons don't work well together for the previously mentioned reasons of the healer just can't heal air targets. So perhaps you should cut out one of them. I'm sort of liking the idea of using balloons with giants to take out the ground air defense. But that means you probably don't need a healer. Instead, it'd probably be a lot more effective to take this 20 supply and dedicate it to more archers, or maybe a wall breaker or 2, maybe some barbarians or goblins to help steal resources, or maybe just more balloons. Either way, I think that you should always keep in mind just how your units are interacting and how you can most effectively use your army supply. Alright, that was a bit of a fun offensive strategy prep talk. Now let's look back at defenses. Alright, so I looked at the wizard towers, which I mentioned were sort of low level. Mortars are maxed, wizards have 2 to go. Wizards are expensive, try to get them up though. Alright. Archer towers are maxed, cannons are maxed, air defense is level 3. That's good. I think it's the first level 3 air defense we've seen. Overall, pretty good. Pretty good. So, just get those wizard towers up, and you're doing good, and you're nearly going to be up to Town Hall 7. You do have some higher level gold mines, so this is something I definitely do approve of. If you do have gold mines within the walls, definitely put your highest level one inside, for sure. Great idea. So, you do have your level 6s and 7s out here, and then you keep your one level 8 in here. Good. Perfect. Exactly what I would do as well. Oop, wait, what about this? You got a level 6 right here and a level 7. Probably swap those. Same sort of thing with elixirs if you happen to have higher level elixirs. Yeah, so put that 7 inside as well. Yep, but overall, that's pretty minor thing. That sort of like improves your base 1% or even less than 1%. Not super significant, but if you're trying to squeak out every little bit of advantage that you can, yeah, sure, go ahead and do it. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap up this subscriber base review video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I do subscriber base reviews every weekend. I know this video got delayed a little bit. That's because I had my Jorge Yao interview that came out on Sunday. So I did ask for base submissions on Sunday, which is how I got these people, and that happens on Facebook like I mentioned at the beginning. So if you're not perfectly clear, if you want to be potentially in a future subscriber-based review video, well, first off, you probably should make sure you're subscribed, because it is a subscriber-based review video after all. And beyond that, go like my Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will announce on those places when I have a subscriber-based review, when I'm collecting submissions for a future video. So you can fill out the quick little form there, and that's all you gotta do. Comment on that status. Look for it around Saturday or Sunday. That is generally when I post them. If you do not get selected or it's not the right town hall level, I'm sorry. Stick around and better luck next time. There are a lot more than you than there are of me. If you just want help in general, you can go ahead and post on my wall and help each other out by answering each other's posts. I can't answer everyone because, once again, there are a lot more of you, but I do try to do my best. Of course, you can also watch these videos to try to get tips from other people. Alright guys, the last thing I want to talk about is the right sidebar in this video. So, this is something new in my videos, and some of you guys liked the last one, some of you guys didn't like the last one. So, I want to explain why I'm doing it. Well, first off, what happens when I record this video and put it up on YouTube? In the old system, there were black bars on the left and the right, especially when you watched it on a computer. When I add this sidebar, I'm just taking up this black space, so it's not actually making the video any smaller on computers. On iPads, I'm not quite sure about all those details, but there's that. Now, if you're also watching on computer, and this goes for any computer, this is a laptop, this is computer, this is a TV, what happens is there's annotations on the right side as well. So you can go ahead and click on those annotations and skip around this video. So my annotation on the right side will say what I'm talking about for different bases. So one of them will probably say something about how on this base I'm talking about units and how units work together. Versus on my other bases, I talked about different things. So if you want to go rewatch part of it, you can just click on those annotations to skip around. Now, I also mentioned my Facebook and Twitter. Well, my Facebook and Twitter icons on the bottom right, they're also annotations, so go ahead and click on them. If you're not on a computer, annotations don't work on mobile currently, unfortunately. They probably will sometime in the future, but they don't currently. So if you want to go to my Facebook and Twitter, you can go find those links in the description. And if you want to skip around, those are the timestamps of the video, so you can skip through the video until you're approximately at the right time. But if you're on a computer, this is really made for you. So hope you guys enjoy. It does take a lot more effort to get in. I am going to be updating the look of it, so I know some of you guys weren't big fans of the look. I do like the how it adds value for at least some of you guys who like it, but if you don't like it, please tell me how I can improve it. Don't just say remove it. That doesn't help. Maybe I will remove it. Maybe, but probably not. What I do want to hear is, hey, I don't like the color, Flammy. Can you change it? Oh, hey, Flammy, can you put a border around it? That's helpful. That's helpful advice, guys. Alright, guys, that's it. That's going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a long one. I had to deal with some housekeeping at the end. Beyond that, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. If you're already subscribed, you're awesome. I appreciate your ongoing support, and you can show the support by liking and commenting on this video. And if you're not subscribed, why don't subscribe? Subscriber-based reviews are just one of the many reasons that you should subscribe and get awesome Clash of Clans videos, which I try to put out every single day. Alright, guys, once again, thank you very much for watching. Clash on.